Hey y'all, just 8 more weeks of NASCAR before Christmas or whatever's actually going to happen here. Back from the week, NASCAR Guru Report with college kids, follow the action guys and whatnot. 2 and 3 last week at Bristol. Gah! Kevin Harvick's a top 10 machine, but he wasn't last week. Missed on that one. Hit a couple in Cup, split trucks, and Xfinity hitting the trucks with that Grant Enfinger top 5. He has been like printing money of late. Where are we going this week? We're Texas, and our good season continues. We give a unit back this past week. I hate that for you guys. Hate that for everybody, but if you've been following, you're up a bunch of units this summer, and you understand that we're doing the Lord's work here, or at least pretty close, dispensing a lot of nice, vanilla, close to even picks that work, and hopefully are making everybody a little bit of money going to the fall. Again, 8 weeks of this NASCAR left. Playoffs across the board for everybody. Talked about last week. It's funny, the leaner we gave you was a big plus money leaner. Chris Bell, top 5. I think comes in 3rd. That would have been a winner. So again, it's almost like I give you more gold in the unscored picks than the scored picks most weeks. Missed in the top 10 long shots we threw out there as leaners as well. This week, Texas, 1.5 miles. Boring. If you get out front, you get to hold the lead, and that seems to be the pattern at this one. Does not have nearly the same tire wear or different sort of tire wear matrix than Vegas and Charlotte. The comparable tracks in Kansas we've now seen twice this season. But you look at those 1.5 miles for comps. The 1.5 mile quad ovals, the ones we saw, they built a ton of 20, 25 years ago. And I'm hearing they're going to bring back Chicagoland after the street course is done there. So that'd be another one of these super boring, but we like them now, 1.5 mile tracks for NASCAR. Okay, Cup and Xfinity this weekend. Both qualify Saturday midday. 350 kick for Xfinity on Saturday, 350 kick for Cup on Sunday. So get ready for that. Okay, what have we learned? What do we know? Favorites of favorites. Denny Hamlin won last week, so it's basically a dead heat across the front with him, Byron, and Larson for your championship bets. Reddick a winner the week before, and again, you shave 4 guys out of the Cup playoffs, so lines have adjusted. I think there's still a little bit of value to Reddick and maybe Bell in the 1,200-1,300 area. Not adding any more. I've added a bunch over the course of the year because I like both of them. I have Reddick out there as cheap as 25. I have Bell as cheap, I bought as 16 or 18. Like I said, probably wouldn't add, but if anybody's going to jump off the map here and win a race, I like both those guys this weekend, actually, for different reasons, and we'll give you different bets as well. Yeah, front of the field, Hamlin and Larson, roughly 500-600 each. Next tier behind that, a bunch of guys in that 700-900 area, and that's Reddick. That is Truex to a lesser extent, a little closer to 900. That is Byron. Bell's out there as cheap as 1,200. He's 9-12. No one likes the Fords this week. And the Fords have been terrible at the 1.5 mile tracks, with the exception of Blaney at Charlotte. So pretty much a be short Ford across the board kind of week. Guys that are interesting and well-priced. Bubba Wallace is out there to win. 22-1, 20-1 at most books. I would nibble on a little bit of that, or I'd nibble on a Bubba top 3. Top 5 at around 300, 275 to 300 if you can get that number. It does have great finishes here, but you've seen what he's done at Kansas this season now twice. The speed he has at 1.5 miles, and Reddick was the winner of this track last year. That's the teammate. That's the essentially analog card to Bubba Wallace. So Bubba at 22, nibble. Chase Elliott is out there at 20 if you have Betfred. Nibble. He's been really good here, still running for owner points this season, and was good the last couple weeks now. Finally starting to figure it out now that he's missed the playoffs. So good for Chase Elliott. Finally, a guy who was, it's like harkening back to last year. Trackhouse was the fastest car in 1.5 miles last year. Chastain was the fastest car. He's terrible of late. He's barely hanging in the playoffs. He's driving smart races, not fast races. He's 2,500, and he's out there a couple spots, 2,500. I know he's not been fast. I know this is only a 400-mile race, so it's not as much time for him to screw around and work on pit strategy and steal spaces Logano style. But I would also nibble, if I have to nibble on winners that are long shots, I like that 25-1 in Chastain. Only guy I would buy at current price to win probably right now, if you put a gun to my head, Reddick if you can find 900, but most of it's 800 out there. We'll get some Reddick because we're going to get to official picks right now. My throat is going. I'm getting a cold this week. Not cool. But let's go get these picks out for Cup. Kiss Xfinity just a little on the way out and be out of here in the next couple minutes. Okay, what do we like? The two winners of this track last 2 years, the new car in the Gen 7 are Reddick and Larson. And I love Reddick and Larson again this week. Reddick and Larson top fives. Best price, $1.35 on Rivers or Parks for Reddick. $1.05. That's plus money on Larson, also at Rivers or Parks, plus 105 on Larson. Here's the deal. Best price on Larson to win is $600. His top five price is 105. That equates to a $735 price to win, because basically top five is a 1/7 price. So that's a really good deal on Larson. It's a really good deal on Reddick as well, which priced him out there cheaper than roughly right at $950 is what a 135 top five gets you. So Reddick and Larson top five, yes. I'm going to give you a third top five. Leo, okay, let's play it a whole unit. Let's be daring, because we're going to win. I think we're going to win at least two of these three. Chris Bell, top five, 200 at 365. That's equivalent to 1,400, which is better price than anybody has him to win. Christopher Bell, top five, 200, 365. I gave him to you 220 a few weeks ago, and you had a big winner out of that. Hopefully that worked for you. One matchup in Cup, but you can play this a few different ways. Bell over Busher. Busher has not been fast in mile and a halves. Bell's been superior at all of them. It's minus 115 at 365. Other books have a similar price. Kyle Busch over Busher, similar price. That probably also works. But the official pick is Bell over Busher. Minus 115 at 365. DK, I think, had it as well. Okay, let's go to Xfinity, guys. Again, super expensive. Hard to make any real money there. Big favorites Nemechek, but that's down to like 250. That's amazing. He's really good at Texas, but that's a really high price. He's been good there in trucks and Xfinity. That's a really high price. Allgaier is right behind him. Behind that, a bunch of guys in the 700s. Barry, Custer, Austin Hill. Here's what Austin Hill's done at the three similar tracks this year. Kansas, Charlotte, and Vegas. First, fifth, and fourth. So we'll go Austin Hill. He's a 700 to win. We'll take him top five, plus 120. Available at 365, but also at others. It's equal to an 840 to win. Austin Hill on a horsepower track. Top five in the championship mix. Austin Hill top five, 120. Other things we've seen that would nibble around the edges. Lane Riggs in the Xfinity race. It's his first one, but he's still 100 to 1 at Betfred. He's running great equipment for colleague. Again, total long shot, total dart, put a penny on it or whatever, but it's still 100 to 1 there. It's 40 to 1 everywhere else. For Lane Riggs, Scott Riggs' son, remember him from the early 2000s? That was a long time ago. Other stuff in Xfinity, nibble on Chandler Smith. If you can get him 350, 375, 400 for a top five, I'd nibble on that. That's just a lean there. And back to Cup, a few top tens that are inexpensive. Tiny nibbles. Zane Smith, if it's cheaper than $1,000 for a top 10, I kind of like that. Justin Haley, there's some 1,300 out there for a top 10. Really good equipment for Smith. He's a good driver. He'll be fine here in the front row equipment. And that's Haley, who's snuck in a couple good runs at Texas and was very, very good here in lower series. Again, if you're going to grab somebody out of the back of the pack, it's really, really cheap. Tiny nibbles on those guys, Zane Smith and also on Justin Haley. Okay, good week. Let's have a better week. 2 and 3 last week. Big time plus for the season. Big time plus units for the season. Over 60% winners. ROI almost 30%. We're fighting through. And every week, the denominator gets bigger, and every week, we keep winning. Keep winning enough. Anyway, thanks to the college kids. Thanks to everybody from FTA. Thanks to the whole gang for following along. 8 more NASCAR races after Texas this week.